Hey guys, Bob here from Bob's World, and in this video, I'm going to do something. I'm going to try to pull it off. We'll see what happens. I'm going to talk to you about the Avata and how it relates to the motion controller. In this case, the motion controller 2, but it could be the motion controller and the radio controller 2 right here. I bet you a lot of people have gotten the Avata. It's been on sale, and sorry, I got to smoke my cigar, guys. Ignore me. It's been on sale, so I'm guessing a lot of new people have the Avata. So I thought I'd do this video that would talk about the pros and cons of the motion controller when compared to the RC controller, because I have flown this drone since it came out, and I've flown many, many months, if you looked at my channel, with the motion controller or the motion controller 2. And I would say I did a pretty good job of, I'll say, mastering that thing with head tracking and all that. And this winter here in Minnesota, I thought, I need to take some new challenge, pass the time, right, before the deep freeze, which hasn't happened yet, and practice on the simulator again with the controller 2 and see what it's all about. And I've got kind of addicted to it. So probably the last 2 months, maybe, I've only flown with the controller 2. I have packed away the motion controller, haven't used it since. I'm going to talk to you about the pros and cons of both based on my experience, and which is worth about a penny. Take it for what it's worth. All right, so here we go. It's 2024. First of all, guys, Happy New Year's to you. Hope you're having fun flying out there and not taking it too seriously, and just make sure it's a good time. Here we go. Motion controller, radio controller 2. So let's start off. First thing I want to point out, I see a lot of comments where people say, well, the motion controller is for beginners, only beginners use it. So, you hear they think, well, God, so my goal should be to get rid of the motion controller or move away from the motion controller and start using the controller 2. And I'm going to say right from the get-go, it all depends on what you're trying to do with the Avata, right? The motion controller and the motion controller 2, I think, are epic technology, especially with the head tracking. When you add the head tracking in this, not only is it so easy to fly, it's a ton of fun. And so you could keep flying this forever. You never have to transition to the controller 2. There are some things that you are going to miss out on, but you might not care about that. So if you care about people, what they're judging of your flying skills, I would say don't. Obviously, keep flying with the motion controller. It's a ton of fun. Anyone can use it. You really can get good with it. If you look at some of my videos and some other people that are flown with this thing and kind of mastered it, you turn on that head tracking with this thing, you can do some great flying, make some great videos. And again, what's awesome about it, it's so easy. I mean, you just turn your wrist up, down, head tracking, move your head with it in conjunction. What are you limited by with this? I'm going to tell you what you're limited by. Okay, first off, 2 modes, normal and sport. There is no acro, there is no manual mode with the motion controller. So you're limited to normal mode, about 18 miles an hour, sport mode, about 32 miles an hour, give or take based on the wind. That is it. You're not going to get beyond that, okay? You also aren't going to be doing, if you care about freestyle, not going to happen with this. You're not going to do, it's in GPS mode. It's in the angle mode. You're not in acro. You're going to fly pretty level, again, safe. You aren't going to do any flips, back flips, dives. You can kind of simulate diving with the head tracking, but you're not going to get the full, I'm talking dive, with the motion controller. So if you don't care about that, you never have to stop flying with this thing. If you just like to pick it up and go out and, fly around safely, have some fun with it, boom. It's awesome for that. Trust me, I loved flying with this. Okay, so that's a motion controller. Hold on a second, guys. I'll give her some ashes here. All right, so let's talk about now the controller 2. Let's say you want the things that the motion controller won't give you. And I'll say this right now. If you fly this and you don't want to do acro or manual mode, which I'll talk about in a minute, you just want to fly in normal or sport mode, it's not going to be any different than the motion controller with one exception. You won't be doing tricks. You won't be doing dives. None of that. But what you will get out of it, if you practice enough, the sticks on these are much more precise than the motion controller. So you will, if you're looking for some cinematic cruising, even hitting some gaps, but really it really shines in the cinematic flying, the sticks are going to be much more precise, which means much smoother flight. It'll just look more professional. That's the bottom line. And I'm really good with this, but I cannot achieve that extra sauce with the sticks on this, okay? Now let's go back to one more thing you're going to get out of this, okay? One is the precision. That's all you're going to get extra on this from the motion controller, with one exception, and that is if you pursue acro or manual mode. Now, if you pursue acro or manual mode, it basically turns everything off, all the safety features basically. You don't have GPS as far as like, detecting how low it'll detect how low you are to the ground, but if you let off this throttle, you're crashing. You can flip, twist, run it. I mean, you can do anything pretty much, but there's some limitations with the Avata, which I'll talk about a little bit because I've been pursuing this whole thing with manual and acro mode. It's all I fly in now, and trying to do some freestyle. There's some big time limitations though with the Avata. So you go into acro mode, okay, after you've done some practice in the simulators. I would advise that. And you're going to have to adjust your throttle stick over here so it doesn't return back to center like your other stick does. There's a bunch of videos how to do it. If you don't want to do it, don't want to look it up, ask me. I'll tell you. It's real easy. It's on the back here. So you have to adjust that in for acro mode. Again, I only fly now in acro manual mode with this thing. That's just what I'm just pushing my comfort zone. I want to get better and better. I'm just doing that. And I like that. One, it unlocks basically 60 miles an hour. Not that I really fly at 60 miles an hour. More probably I'm getting like, 35, 40, 45, sometimes 50. But it unlocks the full speed of this drone. But it drains your batteries a lot faster. You gotta remember that. The other thing is obviously you can do a little freestyle. You can do some power loops, flips, alien rolls. What the hell they call that roll? I don't know. S-turns. You can do that stuff, but I will tell you now, doing that stuff with the Avata, like I went out and flew in today, I practiced in, is this thing just does not have the power to weight ratio to do a lot of that stuff cleanly. And I'll even say, not when I say safely, I mean you're going to hit somebody, but hitting the ground, especially power loops, like you're powering out of things, it just doesn't have it. Especially if you start doing some, quick twisting movements. Like today I did that. I tried to do kind of a twist and look back. Freaking drone went nutsoid, fell out of the sky, death roll. So I have to get another drone where I can do more of that stuff, and hopefully that's coming in the future. Big shout out to some of the folks that have been on my channel, have shared their thoughts, shared their videos with the Baby Hawk 203. I love it, man. Keep it coming. But so here again, it all depends what you're looking to do, guys. I don't think there's one is better than the other. One doesn't make you a worse or better pilot. Fun, just out cruising, zipping around. You don't care that you're doing 18 or 32 miles an hour. You don't care about loops and flips and dives. Perfect. You want to get a little more accuracy in cinematic flight. This is going to help with that. You want to do some acro, some manual mode, get some more speed up to 60 miles an hour, do some flips, spins, S-turns, all of that stuff. You can get into manual mode with this, but I'm telling you right now, one, the Avata's limited on that as far as freestyle goes. Two, you're going to have to spend a lot of hours in a simulator. At least I have, and I practice every day to get better. It is not easy, but man, is it fun. And it is a challenge. And I think if you want to become a better pilot, this is my opinion, I had to do this. I had to challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone with this and try something new. I can always go back to this. And I think one of these days I'm going to do a video kind of like revisiting a blast from the past and fly with this and see how it is and see if I still got it. So if you're a new Avata pilot, welcome. Enjoy it. It's an awesome drone, long flight times, safe to fly. You can hit some gaps. The video quality is great with the O3 system, I think, and it's a ton of fun. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that's accurate, or do you have some different opinions? Share them below. And again, guys, I appreciate the subs and likes, and I appreciate the comments and sharing your stuff. Most folks that comment and share stuff, I go sub to your channels as well, because, you know, it's just fun. So, cheers, peace, guys. Again, have an awesome 2024. And this is Bob Worlds. And I wanted to use a tagline from, what's the one guy? I subscribe to all these drone pilot videos. And let me see if I can find this guy. I mean, most of you guys, if you do FPV, obviously, you know him. He's one of the head machismos. Let me see if I can find this guy. He's in Liftoff. They got his house there. I don't know why his name is, I'm coming to a brain far enough. Oh, there he is. Joshua Bardwell. So he always says something, you're going to learn something today. I almost wanted to start and say, you're not going to learn anything today. But I didn't. So cheers, peace, guys. Again, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.